And we're live.
Well, there you go. See, we're like 6 or 7 minutes late. So welcome to it, a Feel Good Friday. I'm just going to keep holding this up because this is why I was late. I forgot. I ran out of beer last night and yesterday, and I was going to go last night and pick some up and I didn't. So then this morning I was like, oh no, I got to go get beers. So for the show. So I raced across town this morning, at like 10:30, which is plenty of time to get across town in Douglas. It's not that big of a town, except I hit the train. Going to the liquor store, I hit the train. So I'm like, oh man, that's all right. I'll have time. Train will last 5 minutes. I'll get across, whatever. Coming back, I hit the train again. What is up with the trains, man, in Douglas? Smith, can you help a brother out here? What is the deal with the trains? I mean, basically all I can say is it'll drive a man to drink, which reminds me, since I'm holding this up.
Volume down. So, whoops.
So we're just going to start with the beer recommendation of the week because man, what a morning I've had already. It is a feel good Friday though. So hopefully my day will get better and better and better. We have the Sam Adams Cold Snap White Ale. That is our beer of the week, beer recommendation of the week. This is, by the way, I thought this was fitting because it's warm right now. Now, I don't know what it is up in Chicago where my family is. I'll have to look that up. It's 37. It's 37 where my family lives. And right here it is 73. So exact opposite. You just flip the numbers around. So, 37 in Chicago, 73 in Georgia, where I'm at in Douglas, Georgia. So, by the way, Billy is on his way to Atlanta. Going to go see Trevor, him and April's son. He's playing in a baseball game. So he's on his way up. So again, I think this is the longest that I've held a beer in my hand without taking a drink. But Cold Snap, Sam Adams Cold Snap. It is a limited release. It's pretty much available everywhere though, and it's 5.3 alcohol by volume. And it's kind of a. Have you ever had this, Smith? You ever had this? Okay. It's a white ale is kind of a smooth. It's unfiltered, but it has like spices in it, so it's not hoppy. So it's not bitter. Now what did you bring to, what is your recommendation of the?
I did give in to the C4 today. This is the Midnight Cherry flavor. It's definitely my favorite one yet.
So is there alcohol in that?
No, just 300 milligrams of caffeine, no sugar, no carbs, no calories.
300 milligrams of caffeine. So put that into perspective for me. What's like a regular like soda, Coke, whatever?
Here's the perspective. I will never finish it. A Coca-Cola, I think, is like 60 to 80 or something like that. An energy drink is usually 150 to 180, something like that. If you're getting a Monster, Monster full throttle.
So it's like 3-4 times usually.
It's about twice compared to a regular energy drink.
Do you need that?
No, like I said, I never finish them. I drink like half, and I'm over here like kind of like I am right now already. Yeah,
doing the vibration like I had an energy drink.
Yes.
No, actually, I haven't had that particular one. I tried a couple. I never bought one. I've never bought an energy drink. I had a friend of mine. This was years ago. It was a Monster. I don't remember what flavor it was, but it was a Monster drink. It was green. It was a green can. And he was like, "No, man, they're really good. They're really good." I'm like, man, the only way I could describe the Monster drinks was it tasted synthetic.
Synthetic.
Yeah.
A lot of people say they taste sort of like medicine-y.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
It certainly didn't taste natural, but not like Coca-Cola tastes natural or anything like that. By the way, I don't want to be sued by Coca-Cola. Colas, soft drinks, pop, as we call it up north. That's why my family calls it. Can of pop. Gotta get a can of pop.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll notice if you ever stop drinking them, with me, like it's always Diet Dr. Pepper. If I stop drinking them for about 2 weeks, pick another one back up, it doesn't taste very good at first.
Yeah.
It tastes kind of, I don't know, I'd almost say like dirty chemically.
Dirty chemically. Refreshing.
Yeah.
Dirty chemically, refreshment. There it is. So, hey, listen, we got Smith, who's normally behind the camera over there. But I said, hey, look, I told Smith, I was like, look, man, I beat you up pretty bad last week. I did. He was the butt of many, many, many jokes last week. If you missed the show, you can go back. Where can they find it?
YouTube.
So YouTube, you can go on Billy's Facebook page. It's posted there.
Instagram.
Isn't there like 17 other platforms that you do every day that you post all this stuff on?
Yeah, I mean, both of his Facebook pages, YouTube. Well, we don't have the live shows on LinkedIn. Unfortunately, they run over. I think there's a 10-minute time limit. You can go to Instagram on IGTV. Yeah, I guess I could just like link out the YouTube links there, but it's going to get pushed down, and Billy's trying to get us to, less frequent videos.
Sure.
On there right
Yeah.
now
Well,
the experiment.
higher quality, less quantity perhaps.
At least as an experiment on that platform.
Sure.
See how it works.
So anyway, I knew Billy was going to be gone. So I was like, hey, let's give Smith an opportunity for, and I guess, I don't want to say vengeance or anything like that. I wanted to give a good spotlight to Smith. So, a long time ago, it was one of our first shows, wasn't it? It was, I don't know. It was probably within the first month or two that we were doing the show. We had you on, I had you bring your guitar in, and I was just like, you know what? That was so cool. And we had so much fun. So, last minute Larry here, I messaged Sean like an hour ago. I'm like, hey man, can you bring your guitar in?
Sure. I had to turn around and head back home, but it's all good.
Well, and I didn't know. What time do you? Are you a night owl or are you an early bird?
I usually these days I'll go to bed on a work night around probably 1:15. In
the morning.
It is sometimes earlier.
Oh, see, I could have eased. Then I should have sent you the message. I should have, because it was like 10:45. I think it was 10:45, and Billy messaged me and said he wasn't gonna be able to do the show.
Right.
So I should have just messaged you then.
Yeah. Probably the earliest I'm gonna go to bed is about 11:15. Probably. Okay. No, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna be in bed lounging an hour before that, paying no attention.
But now what's funny is, you were up until 1:15 in the morning before Billy called me last night. He texts me and he's like, are you awake? It's 10:45, and he's like, are you awake? So yeah, much different. But yeah, I was definitely up. So all right. So you brought the guitar in. We're going to let you kind of just, calm down and, kind of, go with the flow here with the show. Wait, you're never going to get that.
Oh yeah.
That's a pull top.
Thank you.
I should have let him struggle. I should have let him struggle.
I would have done it too.
I should have been like, what are you, weak? So Smith, well, he's used to the pop cans, the pull tab, cans or whatever. So, but so first sip, what do you think? You can be honest. If you don't like it, you can say so. See, look at this. Rookie. Did you see him swig? Tips it up.
Better than most beer.
Yeah, tips it up and it's like starts to foam and overflow and rookie mistake.
I need a paper.
No, so honestly, just like I said, if you don't like it, it's fine. Everybody has their own taste. So what do you think?
Give it a 6 or a 7, but I don't like beer. So
right.
Hey, and keep in mind, 6 or a 7, that's a positive score.
Yeah, no, that
is average.
I didn't expect it. I didn't expect to score that much. I really didn't. I thought you were going to say like, oh, it's a 3 because I don't like beer. Or something like that. So it's easy drinking.
Yeah,
it is. It's pretty smooth. So, by the way, Jamie Lopez, who's the man behind these scenes today. So
microfiber cloth, got to have one.
Yeah, so he comes in, saves the day. He sees that Smith's overflowing beer everywhere. Billy's going to come back and the studio's going to reek like alcohol, like beer everywhere. It's like, what, you guys have a party while I was gone? Well, a bit of a party. We had Sean come in, jam a little bit, that kind of thing. So we're going to get you on guitar here in a little bit, but also we have the Classic Rock Revisit coming up here in just a little bit. We'll talk about a very special one too, so you don't want to miss out on that. And then one thing that I wanted to talk about with the weather changing. Okay. Now I gave you some grief last week about riding your bike and, all this kind of stuff, but now it's starting to warm up, dude.
Oh, I love it.
This is bike riding weather, and we're talking bicycle, by the way. Smith's got the bicycle. I don't really think he rides like this. I'm just but it's the bicycle. Like whoa, look at me, Mom, no hands. So tell us a little bit about, when the weather's warm, because obviously when it's cold, the routines are all different for everybody. But so when the weather's warm, how many hours a week do you like to get in on a bicycle?
I'd probably say 5 to 7. No, sometimes more if I'm really, really feeling it. If the right music gets on and I'm just grooving with it, I'm coasting, I may go for like 2 hours in a single day. Because I just have a great time with it. It is obviously a workout, and I beat my thighs to death doing this as much as I do. And there are days when I get up and I'm just like, I definitely overdone it. But it's just such a good time. And you get a workout. You get to, if you live where I'm at, you get to, explore nature. I love like drifting up and down the little, hills from the pond down to our driveway. It's all dirt, and mud, and rocks, and
it's just off-road.
Yeah, it's all 100% off-road. It gets pretty messy sometimes. You hit the clay at the right speed, at the right angle, you're probably going to fall.
By the way, I should have planned this better. Our background, with Smith, it should have been a bicycle. Jamie Lopez, can you fix that? While he's doing that on the fly, he'll get a little dose of what you have to deal with when Billy hosts the show all the time. Smith, can you do this? Smith, can you do this? Look this up. Do this, do that. And also the other thing that you're always whining about after the show, by the way,
Boy.
And I said I'd be nice. So, I'll just, that Smith is a little not happy. He's a little unhappy with Billy and I talking about stuff, and then we don't go to the comments, or we don't give him the opportunity, to pull up the comments. So watch this. I'm going to throw a curveball to Lopez while he's trying to pull up. Hey, James, pull up the comments.
Comments.
Kind of fun on you're on this side, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little funny. It's a little funny. I'm starting to get the appeal.
Merritt Sullivan says, "Good morning."
That's my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Felipe says, "Smith."
That's me.
Smith.
Rolls right off the tongue.
Miss April says, "I can't tell you don't like it."
That's when Sean tipped that bottle up, man. I'm telling you. By the way, you're going to hear me calling him Sean. You're going to hear me calling him Smith. He's got a bunch of nicknames. Some names I can't even say. I mean, I call him a lot of stuff. You should hear sometimes, but I can't reat. And you should hear the names he calls me. Wow. Man, it's just, man, oh, man.
At the right moment, in the right mood.
Well, Smith works until 4:30 in the afternoon. Or, well, I'll rephrase that. He's scheduled to work until 4:30 in the afternoon. So if you come to Smith anytime, even near 4 o'clock, with any kind of project, question, no, he'll do it now. I mean, he will do it.
I will do it, but I will say things I would never say on the show to Paul.
But boy, oh boy, does he cop the attitude. See, he's all like friendly and nice guy. You hear him in the background a lot of times, he's all jokey and calm and all that kind of stuff. Man, you give him a project at 4:27, 3 minutes before he's ready to go. Ooh, man. Man, oh man, because see what happens is we're breaking into your bicycle time.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Nighttime is approaching.
So do you ever get up early in the morning and ride your bike?
Not lately, no. I had said when we were coming in at 8 most of the time that I was going to try to start getting up at 5:15, but then it got as cold as it was, and I was I wasn't going to work in the weather the way it was these past couple of months.
Yeah, well, I think we've turned the corner.
Yeah,
I mean, again, 73 degrees here, 37 degrees in Chicago. So again, numbers are completely flipped. So yeah, big difference. So even though our beer of the week, Sam Adams Cold Snap, it definitely works here, but I'm not so sure in Chicago. It's still cold there. By the way, I don't know if you can. I'm going to put Lopez on the spot again. I don't know if you can give me any kind of background where you can see how much beer is in the bottle. Is it possible to do that? It's possible to do that. Here, I'll just do this. I'm gonna put my finger on the bottle. All right. Of how much beer I have in this bottle. And Smith's going to do this exact same thing. So put the beer, look at that.
I've drunk more than else.
Where's your finger? No, put your finger where it is.
Right there.
Yeah. Now look at that. Okay. Now I know we just got started, but like he was just like, glug, 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 glug.
Trying to loosen up, man.
Yeah. I'm like, just, taste it. And he's like, glug, glug, glug. That's why, it's overflowed and all that kind of good stuff. So, but anyway, so no, having some fun.
Got to get that tension out of the way.
Go. Smith's going to chug it the beginning of the show. Every Friday now, Smith's just going to chug a beer.
Well,
what do you think?
I'm probably going to regret this in about 15 minutes when I have to use the bathroom.
I thought you were going to say the quick head buzz or something like that. Well, although I will say, with the tables turned, when I said it's a little more fun over here because you don't have to do as much work. Number one, you just tell everybody what to do and just goof around, have some fun. But
Jamie's glaring at us.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say was now we got Lopez back there. Jamie Lopez. Again, we're going to call him Jamie. We're going to call him Lopez. But we got Lopez back there. He's trying to put everything together. Yes. But the other thing was he thought that he might get the second beer.
Ooh.
See, and then because I didn't think Sean would drink it. I just really didn't. I think, he said he didn't like beer. So, I mean, I brought one just in case. And I thought, nothing else, Jamie will drink it. So, I'd come in and, oh, man, the look that Lopez gave you when you opened up the beer.
I wasn't even paying attention.
He was off camera, and, boy, it was a good thing. He was using some hand signals. I'm not saying what. We're just saying hand signals were flying.
I can relate.
So doing some of that stuff. So what do you got planned for the weekend?
What do I got planned for the weekend? I'm going to try to do more of what I should have done last weekend. I know I said I'm going to do nothing but work on music. I'm going to be disciplined this weekend. I'm going to be good. And then, my Uncle Steven and my cousin's fiance. I always want to call her wife. But his fiance asked me to hop on Destiny 2 and get some of our weekly stuff out of the way. And before you know it, we were in a raid and none of us knew how to do the raid. And I ended up on Destiny 2 for like all day Saturday.
And it just turned into Sunday.
Yeah.
It just happens.
You just can't even start it. This weekend, I have to not join the party. I always try to get my fix by hopping on, playing some player versus player for about an hour, whether I get wrecked or I wreck some other people. Get that fix and get back to work. Hey, my boy Keegan. What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in.
So you talk about working on music. So when you say I'm just going to spend all day working on music, so what is the work? I mean, what does that actually entail?
Well, I try to make it more and more. I hesitate to say this because maybe it's a turnoff for people, but I try to make it more and more processed, like structured, as in, as much as I love sitting down and just, improving until I come up with a riff that I really like. What I've been working on in this ambient song that I'm making right now is I basically put down the chord structure that I wanted. I come up with the verse chords, the chorus chords, the bridge chords. Where does the halftime happen? When does it get slower or faster?
Yeah, when's halftime? That's all that's normally wrong. When's halftime? No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. And
then I laid down the bass line, and now you have the structure, you have the length, you've got a tempo that feels good. You've got enough mixing there already that things sound good, because here's what happens if you don't have the structure there. You end up at a point where you're laying down your kick drum or whatever and your bass, and you're like, well, I got to get my kick drum and my bass sounding perfect together, even though I'm still writing the song. I'm not there yet, and I'm trying to perfect like the dynamic between two instruments. You have to avoid that at all costs. Get the creative stuff, as in writing, out of the way in a structured way as quickly as possible. Then add your details. If you want to automate your volume, you want to add those articulations where your notes slide in different ways.
So
then you mix.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then you mix, and then you master. And a big mistake a lot of people make, including me, is we blur the lines. We go from writing to mixing to sound design, back to mixing, and then we're not even done writing yet. It's a terrible way to do it. It makes things take way longer than it needs to. So have some structure.
So how many, if you just estimate, how many completed, do you call them songs, or are they projects? I mean, what do you call them when they're completed? Babies?
Babies, that's a good one. I'd say songs. I mean, I've had ideas about playlists, albums, EPs, and things like that. But usually I do go song by song, unless I'm working on like a lo-fi album. There's like a concept behind it. Usually I'm going song by song.
So how many songs then, roughly, have you completed?
I should be around, as far as the stuff that I have uploaded to YouTube so far, I think like 64. Now, before that, it's probably 25, 30 songs that I've finished between different bands we were with, maybe more. The problem is, and back to that structure thing, there are literally thousands of projects that I've started on my computer. I swear. I mean, I haven't counted them total, but I know I have a single folder from my old PC that's got a project in there that's like new song 158. It's a terrible habit. And I mean, there's good stuff in there. There's good stuff in there that needs to be finished, but I guess it's a discipline thing. If you're constantly getting ideas, which I definitely am, anytime I sit down to just screw around, I come up with something that's like, oh yeah, that's my next song. And then you start rolling on that, and you don't finish the last thing.
So it's kind of, so you're similar to Billy in that case, in that sense. You're like, oh, something shiny and new over here.
Yeah.
Oh, look, something shiny and new over here. So you kind of get distracted.
Yeah, and I think sort of the same thing with hobbies. I can relate to that, like jumping from trying to gain proficiency on one thing to another. I get the appeal, because I mean, I love writing music, I love drawing, I love editing videos, I love biking, I love art in general. I mean, I've started learning 3D here and there. It may be too much. It's definitely possible it's too much, but there's a fairly large set of things that I really do want to master them all, because I want to be able to roll them all into, my own single-handed productions. And I'd say I've made a lot of progress in that. I can write my own song, mix my own song, animate the video to it. And it does take a while, but I don't know, having that personal touch on the entire process, when you see it finished, there's nothing like that feeling.
So are you familiar with the cliche, jack of all trades, master of none?
I sure am, which is one reason I've been trying to just focus on the music and the animation, because those two really go hand in hand.
So now wait a minute. You just said animation. So hold up.
It's a general term. I know. I know.
All right.
General.
I've asked for this for the beer recommendation of the week and the classic rock revisit. I asked for animation months ago, and he's giving me all this BS about how he can't do it, and it's gonna take me so long, and
man.
So wait a minute now. So now you can do animation for your own stuff, your own projects, but you can't do it for the show.
You have any idea how many hours I spend on one of my own projects? It is ludicrous. I need to get a screenshot of some of my projects. I should have thought about that today. It would have been fun.
Well, I gave you a whole 45 minutes to an hour,
Oh man,
notice.
I may have something on my Instagram. I'm not sure, but I mean, if you look at one of my video projects for even literally a meme-filled anime analysis, there will be 20 different layers of video, because I've got an image coming on top of an image coming on top of an image, and they've all got drop shadows, and they're all masked against the background, and the background's being blurred while there's stuff up there, and then it's unblurring while stuff leaves, because I just always got to do it. I can't help myself.
So when you're doing drawings, I did not know that you like to draw.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. So do you draw? I mean, can you draw anything? Do you draw people? Do you draw landscapes? What do you draw?
I'm not going to say I'm super proficient. I'm probably better at portraits and singular features than anything. I can draw a heck of an eye. So I hear.
Can you draw like a person, more than just the eye?
I can draw the face. I don't.
Sweet. I want a drawing of me and Billy.
Oh God, this is what I was afraid of. I've never done from life portraits. It's usually me drawing some stylized stuff.
And maybe what you can do, if you can draw me and Billy sitting here, then you can draw yourself. See if people can hear me
standing above you.
No, I gotta figure out the camera. Right. Okay, that is then you can have a picture of yourself
That's great.
They're making me pull something up again.
I dig it.
So you can do that. Well, hey, while I'm up, I'm going to slide my chair over a little bit, because again, I promised. Now I give Smith a hard time. He's a very, very talented young man, and so he brought the guitar in. So while you're grabbing that, I'll talk for just a second while you're getting that ready to go. So he brought his guitar in. So he's an artist, in more ways than one. So he can draw, he can play music, he writes music, he produces our show, all that kind of good stuff. So he is a very multi-talented guy. So again, even though I give him a hard time, very, very talented guy. While he's getting all set up, we're going to talk about the Classic Rock Revisit. I'll give Jamie Lopez a little heads up there. So the Classic Rock Revisit this time around, today, they actually released the 30th anniversary of Lopez, if you pull that back, leave it on the screen for me for a minute. The Classic Rock Revisit, it's the Black Crowes, and it's Shake Your Moneymaker. Now, leave it on the screen for a minute. Leave it on the screen. So you can see the two different covers.
You can't do that.
Oh, you can't do that. Okay, that's why. All right. So, well, if you look, all right, quick, look at the upper left corner. See the little black one? That's the one from 1991. Okay. Now put it up there again. Now the one underneath that is the 30th anniversary. Right there. It goes Shake Your Moneymaker 30th anniversary. Pull it up again. It's a really good song, and it's the 30th anniversary, so it's a really cool thing. Anyway, no, you can stop doing it now. Black Crowes, Shake Your Moneymaker. It's a fantastic album. When it first came out, it's kind of like that Southern rock sound. I mean, they're Georgia boys. And of course, Hard to Handle's on there, and Jealous Again. And I mean, there's a bunch of great tunes on there. Now they just released, I think it was either yesterday or today. It may have been today, that they released the 30th anniversary of it. So it's a 3 CD set of the 30th anniversary. It's got some acoustic stuff on there, a couple of what I don't like when they do these extended or box sets or whatever you want to call it, these special sets. I don't like it when they put demo versions on there. I'm not a big fan of that. You know, I mean, I don't. I mean, it's not a big deal to me. You know, what do you think about demos?
It depends. I've heard a couple like acoustic demos that I thought, yeah, no, it's cool to know where the idea for the song come from.
I mean, like if I'm viewing it, like if I'm just watching it online and it's free, okay, I'll you know, that's fine, because again, you can put whatever you want online.
Yeah.
But if I got to pay for it, you know, I don't want like the box set filled with a bunch of that stuff.
Right.
You know, I'm like, no, come on, man. You know, I mean, make it. You know, if I'm going to pay for it, which I know you and Jamie are both looking at me like, you pay for music? What? Who pays for music? But I do buy some.
You'd probably prefer it to be like B-sides and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and again, like the acoustic, you know, I love when they include acoustic, even some live versions or even an alternate mix. Now that's kind of cool. You know, if it's completely different than the original or the single, the radio version, or whatever you want to call it, they do. I like that. But I'm just not a fan of like the demo. So there's not a lot of that. There's a lot of acoustic stuff. She Talks to Angels, you know, beautiful song, very cool tune, monster tune for him. There's an acoustic version of that on there. And so just some really good stuff. So check out the original Shake Your Moneymaker from the Black Crowes. And then the 30th anniversary, the edition that it was either released yesterday or today, is out. And it's a 3-disc set with a bunch of acoustic stuff, live versions, alternate takes, things like that. So it's pretty cool. So now that I've talked about the Black Crowes and I had Lopez, you know, flashing across the screen off the screen like 16 times. So tell us a little bit, Smith, what, you know, are you just going to kind of tinker or, you know, or what do you call it? I mean, when you're just kind of playing around, do you have a word for that?
Improving, ad-libbing. There's a couple of terms for it.
Okay.
I just noticed, by the way, my guitar is like, and
do you need to stand up
on our screen?
Or do you not have the strap?
I do not have the strap.
He does not have the strap. So there you go.
I'm gonna have to do this, you know, sort of deal, I guess.
Yeah. So he is playing something. So he is actually playing. Although, yeah, look at me. I'm playing guitar. See my hand? See my hand? Yeah, I'm playing guitar.
Together so that I can do this.
I'm playing guitar too. Yeah, look at me. Just my hand.
You'll have to tell me what the level's like. Obviously, there was like.
Is that good?
Up a little. All right, I'm making it up on the spot. Let's see how it goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Smith.
Do love playing with those open notes, but it's a little limited.
Wait, I have an idea. I have an idea. All right, so keep playing.
Okay.
Now watch this. This is it's a world premiere. We just did a duet.
Good contribution.
I do what I can. Yeah, put my finger on the string. There it was.
Stool or something.
Yeah, it's the first time ever, you know, the Smith Sullivan duet, you know, on guitar. So that's pretty cool. So what do you play? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I was just riffing that time for sure. Just kind of making stuff up.
So what type of guitar and everything do you play?
This is a Schecter. Just got this one a year and a half, 2 ago. I doubt you can see that really well.
So
but
hold this part. Hold the neck up toward the camera a little bit. See, what is the red? What's the big red thing?
That is a tuner, actually. I just tuned it.
Okay, all right, I got you.
Almost forgot about that.
Because it looked, I kind of thought maybe it was a video camera. You know, I was like, now that's cool. If you could like do that or it would show your fingers, all that kind of stuff, that'd be pretty neat.
I'm pretty sure they do have those, actually.
So where's yours?
I'm investing in one of those. I need one. I don't have one.
Billy, we need another camera.
I'm sure he'd love that.
We need the guitar cam, you know. So go ahead.
I did think of one random thing I didn't think to play last time that you might like.
Yep.
I'm accidentally hitting my whammy bar.
Well, he's trying to hold it up. I mean, he's in an awkward position, but Layla, yeah, that's absolutely cool. So, by the way, name of my granddaughter, Layla. So perfect choice.
That's cool.
So, so play another one.
Play another one. Okay, you probably know this one if I can get it right. I'm screwing it up
I
terribly.
was gonna say, I'm like, I don't know that one.
Let's see if I can freaking remember.
So while you're playing, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. So you have some big influences?
Yes, this is probably my biggest one. Even though I'm screwing it up terribly right now.
I was gonna say I cannot pick it up. Comment if you think you know what it is.
I'm starting to remember it. It's got a neoclassical, so
I was gonna say I'm stumped.
for the love of God.
Oh dang! No, I didn't pick it up. I didn't.
I should have switched. Actually,
Yeah, I didn't pick it up.
we can make this better real quick. Couple flips of the switch to his preset.
There we go.
Hey, here's another one I thought
There it
of
is.
last time that I didn't think to show you for some reason.
So you got presets.
Yes, this is a Line 6, so it's fairly digital.
Okay.
I like having all the presets. I mean, I love the analog sound more personally,
Mhm.
but as
Easy.
something to play with, oh yeah,
Yeah.
very easy. Let's see if you can spot this one.
Okay.
If I can remember it once again. Anything else?
No.
Okay, Avenged Sevenfold. Does that help at all?
I mean, yes, but I mean, I didn't pick it up. When you were telling me the bands, then I could pick it up.
If I had a classical guitar, probably be a little
So,
easier.
all right, so that brings in another point. So you said if I had a classical guitar.
Mhm.
So what do you play? Do you play classical?
Yeah, a little bit. I used to know Air by Jason Becker. I got to pick that one back up. That one's
What about
hard.
jazz or blue? I mean, like different genres. Do you play a lot of different stuff?
A little bit, mostly improv. But
So I'll put you on the spot. Give me, you can stop and think about it for a second, but I'll put you on the spot. Give me 10 to 15 seconds of your best blues that you can think of. I don't care if you play somebody else's or you play your own, but something with a blues feel. So 10 to 15 seconds of blues, by the way, is way underrated. So many people are, they don't think that they like blues. I don't think they know blues because there's a lot of good blues music out there.
I agree.
Well, you're right. That thing does make it a lot easier with all the different sounds. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
can just flip the switch. So what about jazz? Can you make something jazzy?
I'll be honest here.
He really is playing, by the way.
I've been picking most of this up from like J-pop chord progressions and
Okay.
stuff, but they use a lot of jazz. So
So is that someone else's or is that yours?
I wrote that one.
That's cool. I like that.
Thank you.
So when you decide, all right, I'm going to tinker with the guitar. Well, first of all, I didn't ask you, how many guitars do you have?
Let's see, this one I have 2 acoustics. I have an old Fender Prodigy, which is a lot like a Stratocaster. Those are the four that I have. There are more in the house, but I guess we would argue over whose is whose at some point.
So is there, I mean, I know there's a difference in depending on what you're going to play, but is there a favorite of yours? I mean, again, depending on what you're going to, the type of music probably that you're going to play, but is there a favorite of yours if you had to pick one?
Honestly, and I'm ashamed to say that I let go of this thing back in the day to pick up a nice drum set, a Tama Rockstar drum set, but I sold my Ibanez Jim Vi Signature Edition.
Oh, wow.
And that thing played like a dream. Like there is nothing I've ever played that was as easy, like as you just touch it in the notes there, you know.
So do you still have the drum set?
Yes, I do still have the drum set.
Do you like the drum set?
I do like the drum set. I will say years later, I've been thinking about moving to something like a D drum, something that's sort of compact. You've ever seen like those really small Gretsch drum sets where you've got the really shallow toms, a small kick drum, everything sort of low to the ground. I like the idea of being able to go like straight from the snare drum to the high tom without any resistance or like heavy movement, because I love the I mean that's what I like to play when I'm playing drums.
So you can play guitar, you can play bass, right?
Yeah.
Okay, play drums. So what else can you play?
Play keyboard a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to write music digitally, you pretty much have to be able to play keyboard at least a little bit. If not that, you're going to be punching in notes on a computer the whole time. So
do you play any horn instruments?
I actually played trumpet in band. I have not played it in a couple years, but I still remember some of the scales, at least the chromatic stuff. Yeah.
Could you pull off the harmonica?
Pull off the harmonica? I think I could pull that off. I think we can make it happen. I feel like I got nearly enough feel out of the last blues ones.
So my mom's watching. My mom, I was forced to listen to country music.
Okay.
I was forced to when I was younger. Of course, I worked in country music radio for many years. It's not my favorite. I mean, I can appreciate the musicianship, you know, the songwriting, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it's not my favorite, but I know my mom, you know, she would like to hear it, and we'll give Lopez a little bit. So can you throw some country at us?
I feel like this is probably closer to bluegrass. I get these two mixed up a lot. This is going to sound crazy, but Clutterbilly by Keith Urban and Hog Beep Stomp by Buckethead, they sort of have the same. They kind of go between that bluegrass and jazz thing.
I mean, to me, it almost reminded me of like rockabilly.
Yeah. I guess that's Clutterbilly. It's pretty close. Yeah, kind of the same idea.
So, Lopez, I mean, I know it was no Jason Aldean, you know, I mean, so give it a, 1 to 10 rating of, what did you call it? Or was it just made up?
It was either Clutterbilly. I think it's Clutterbilly. It may be Hog Stomp.
So we'll call it Hog Clutter.
Hey.
Hog clutter.
So what do you think? Scale of 1 to 10 of Hog Clutter.
I'd say 8. 8.
All right, I'll take it. Let's see what else can I think of on the spot.
No, you can listen to Jason Aldean, can you?
Can you pull off any Jason Aldean? Do you know any?
I'd have to pull it. I mean, I could pull up the chords, but it'd probably take a minute.
Nah, we'll wait. Well, you can play that for Jamie after the show.
Right.
So you talk about that you make ambient music. Okay. So if you could kind of dumb it down, the explanation of your, what your definition of ambient music is, how would you describe it? So somebody that didn't know what it was, how would you describe it?
Okay, so I'd say she said I've never needed a radio. Thank you, Mom. I would divide it into two. No, you could further divide it a lot because there's God knows how many subgenres here. But there's drone ambient music, and there's what I would broadly describe as like psychedelic ambient music. I would include space ambient music probably there. Drone music is basically a lot of.
Well, I could play that.
Yeah, but I mean. It works better when you've got a synthesizer, when you've got tons of delay, tons of reverb, tons of that room open sound. You really just, you're creating a soundscape like you would want, like a driving bass, like one note, most likely. And then I might just want to use my looper.
Lopez, well, put up some comments while he's getting things set up, if you don't mind.
Your mom asked, have you ever submitted your music to performers?
Have you ever submitted your music to performers?
Probably the closest thing we've ever done. I don't remember the name of this label, but it was the same label that Silence was on, which is a pretty good deathcore band back in the day.
Pretty sure my mom doesn't know them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best example I've got. Well, we were going to start touring under their label. They were going to get us a record deal. And we were doing like deathcore and hardcore music at the time, but we got into a big rigmarole about what sort of genre we wanted to be, whether it was this heavy or this heavy, and how technical did we want the music to be, because, you know, we needed to submit what we were. And I don't think none of us really agreed on it. Bunch of big, stupid, young is about what I would say.
And it was called what type of music?
We were between deathcore, metalcore, and hardcore, I would say.
Yeah, so
lots of core.
You know, I say that my mom, I mean, she's been, trapped in her little room because of COVID. So, hey, my mom could be a huge deathcore, metalcore, whatever you want to call it. She could be a huge fan by now. I don't know. So, I mean, you never know. COVID has changed a lot of things. So maybe my mom is just, all hard edge now.
It's perhaps.
What about your mom?
My mom. My mom listens to a lot of like contemporary gospel music, a lot of country, lots of old. They love old 80s music and the like, that type of stuff.
You say it like there's something wrong with that.
No, I love that type of music. I grew up on Bryan Adams and Bon Jovi, probably first and foremost.
So who else we got there, Lopez?
Candace Smith says, I've never needed a radio.
Is that your mom?
That is my mom. Thank you.
Then
Hi, Smith's mom. No,
slowly put together.
That's my mom
music.
saying that no, she's not a deathcore metal whatever.
Yeah, I kind of figured as much. It's the best example I've got there. So I guess this would be like sort of an example of drone music. Like there's only one chord.
Okay.
And we're sort of just playing around that chord. Now, obviously, there would be more layers in a real example. But we're sort of just... I think I may have accidentally looped my lead. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
So let me ask you another question. So when you decide that you're going to write a song,
yes.
Okay, so are you a literal pen to paper guy, or are you on the computer, or are you playing it? Because I know there's programs out there now where you can just play it and it'll record it and then it'll put the notes on for you.
Yeah, I've pretty much always been an on the computer guy. Okay. I mean, I've written stuff down before, writing out time signatures, trying to get a feel for what it would be like to get it down on paper. But ever since I was probably 12, I've been programming stuff in what they call Guitar Pro, which is basically built so that there's a line for this string, and there's a line for this string, and there's a line for this string, and you put a number on that line, and it represents, if you had a 5 on the top string, well, that's it. That's right there. It's super simple.
Mm-hmm.
I have years of experience with that, and I'd like to think I'm probably about as fast as you can get at tabbing stuff out on a computer. But eventually, you have to move away from the MIDI, the sort of unprofessional sounds. Kind of still sounds like a video game. Even the realistic sound engine, as good as it is, it doesn't sound real. Not really.
So playing a real guitar versus Guitar Hero, the video game. So are you really good at Guitar Hero?
I am horrible at Guitar Hero, actually.
I've heard that. I've
Absolutely.
heard that people can actually play real guitar because it's not the same.
Well, the worst thing you can do is try to play a song that you know how to play in real life. Because you're going to try to play it the way you would play it in real life, and it is not the same.
Right.
It is not the
Yeah,
same.
'cause you're just doing the four buttons or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And I'm over here trying to. Like, there's no buttons down there.
Meanwhile, the 11-year-old kid beside you is like wailing on, on the Guitar Hero.
Yeah, it's always been crazy. Back in the day, my friend Jacob Wilson would just annihilate me on Guitar Hero, and he was our bassist. It wasn't bad, but I would say he probably didn't practice as much as he should have.
Oh, calling him out. Calling him out.
Got him. But yeah, he would mop the floor with me on guitar.
So now I asked you this. I asked you the last time that you were on the show many months ago, and you didn't. So I know that you do sing some.
Yeah.
So are you gonna sing for us today?
Oh boy, I could try, I guess. I probably won't finish this, but let's see how many lyrics I can remember.
Okay.
Might have to turn the guitar up a little bit. I also have no idea how loud I'm gonna be. Let's just finish this off real quick.
Finish this off real quick. I'm like, it's like a third of a bottle.
Yeah, it ain't gonna help much. Okay, probably not gonna be able to see the guitar here. Jesus Christ, that's a pretty face, the kind you'd find with someone that could save if they don't put me away. Well, it'll be a miracle. Do you believe you're missing out? And everything good is happening somewhere else with nobody in your bed. The nights hard to get through. Now we'll die all alone. When I arrive, I won't know anyone. Well, Jesus Christ, I'm alone again. So what did you do those 3 days you were dead? 'Cause this problem's gonna last more than a weekend. Jesus, I'm not scared to die, but I'm a little bit scared of what comes after. Do I get the gold chariot? Do I float through the ceiling? Do I divide and pull apart? Cause my pride is too sly to hold back all my dark. And at the gates, does Thomas ask to see my hand? I don't think I remember the place.
That's all right. That was good, man. That was really good.
Thank you.
That was really
that
good.
was that was very much needs practice. I should have pulled up the lyrics first. I don't know why
No,
I
that's
never
right.
do that.
No, that's right. No, that was good.
It seems so obvious, though. Probably would have took 20 seconds.
So of the songs that you write, do you write lyrics with them, or you just write instrumental mostly?
I do sometimes. These days, lately, more than anything, I'll take like a meditation seminar or a seminar on spirituality or something like that. Something that I find riveting, engaging, and I'll make a lo-fi album out of it. Shout out to Akira the Don, who's probably the one who turned me on to the idea that this was even a thing that you could do and make it actually good, like creating these ballads out of like Alan Watts and Jordan Peterson material. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It makes something that is already engaging to listen to. That much more engaging. It makes it rhythmic. Every once in a while, you find that magical moment where you get that perfect rhyme from this measure to the next, even though it was just some spoken word stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you hear that and you go, "That's the chorus," obviously.
Like, hey, I got this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful thing because when you write like that, based around a work that someone has already created, even if it was all on the fly when they were doing it, you already have the layout and the mood. You're kind of just giving it the help it needs to make it an earworm to help someone, actually remember what they're listening to. It might be hard to listen to a 1 hour seminar and take everything in, but
right.
when it's got 12 songs behind it and they're all actually sound good, it's a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. No, really good. That was awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I should say coming on camera. Thanks for coming on camera, bringing the guitar and like that. It's always very cool. Like I said, I'm amazed at how talented you are. You're multi-talented and able to do a lot of things. So thank you guys for watching for Feel Good Friday. By the way, drawings to come.
God.
He's going to show some drawings. It doesn't have to be me and Billy, but we're going to put some drawings. Some of Smith's drawings. We're going to put them up, show them up on the show. In fact, I want to do that every week. Let's make that a feature. We're going to, one picture, some form of drawing that Smith had put together. We'll add that to the show. So every Friday we'll show a picture of one of Sean's drawings. So
always something new.
So take us out, man. Play it out.
Play it out.
Again, don't forget Black Crows, the 30th anniversary CD available. Go check that out. Also, Sam Adams Cold Snap. Really good stuff. Beer recommendation of the week. Even Smith, who doesn't really care for beer that much, thought it was pretty good. So, so take us out. In the meantime, remember, if you're going to be drinking this weekend or anytime, make sure that you're not driving. Be safe out there. Drink responsibly. Have a great weekend. Jamie, leave the show on for about another minute and fade it out. So, Sean, take us out.
Let's play something else I probably won't be able to remember real quick. Pretty sure I'm mixing up parts. I'm just going to make it up from here.
While you're playing that, big shout out. Keep playing. Big shout out to our road dogs, Chad and Joey and Kirk and Felipe, all out on the road, doing a great job for us. Thank you guys for those car dealerships. And don't forget to subscribe to Billy Merritt's YouTube channel.
And go check out the composing narrative if you want to hear some of my music. It's way better than this random stuff I've been making up.
Have a great weekend.